I hate Garchomp. This video is going to be a little bit different than my usual content. Today, I need to get something off of my chest, something near and dear to my heart. And it is my hatred for the Pokemon known as Garchomp. Now, this is not unwarranted hatred, right? Like, obviously, I don't really like his design that much. I think Garchomp's a very ugly Pokemon. But I have data to back up my hatred for Garchomp. So, let's talk about it. First of all, we're talking about VGC Series 1, which obviously is only one tournament. We haven't had it for that long. But it's the format we're in right now, right? Series 1 for Scarlet and Violet. Tell me, out of all the Pokemon here that are legal, so obviously ignore Great Tusk, Iron Tread, Sandy Shocks, which one of these ground-type Pokemon would you run as an offensive attacker over Garchomp? You look at these. Which one of these Pokemon that's legal in Series 1 is a better offensive Pokemon than Garchomp? None of them. Garchomp. Garchomp's the best one. By a lot. By a very large margin. Garchomp is the Charizard of pseudo-legendary Pokemon. It gets thrown into like every game. It is super good because it's just Garchomp. It exists, right? I have more, right? Besides being the best Pokemon in VGC Series 1, we can go look at the San Diego Regionals. All of these teams, the only ones that are running ground types, the ground types are Garchomp. So let's look through here. See, no ground, no ground, no ground, no ground. We scroll down, the only ground type is Garchomp. The only ground type in the entire tournament almost is Garchomp. Nobody else is running any ground type Pokemon unless its name is Garchomp. Why? Why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? Why do we like Garchomp so much? I don't understand. I've got more. 2000. Okay, every regional dex that Garchomp is in, it is the best ground type Pokemon, and I wish they would stop just throwing it in every regional dex. Now, to be fair, in Sword and Shield, it wasn't in the regional dex. Great, perfect. Garchomp lovers can cry for all I care. I don't care. But let's look at some more, right? 2014, regional dex, X and Y. POV, you're me. You're at a college tour, right? You're watching Sejun Park use Pachirisu. What's that? That's a Garchomp. First place team, Garchomp. Second place team, Garchomp. No ground type Pokemon in third or fourth place, because if they had a ground type Pokemon, it'd be Garchomp. Alright, let's jump ahead to the next regional dex format, right? It's Sun and Moon. World Championships. Fair enough, there's no Garchomp in first place. There's a ground type Pokemon that's not Garchomp. It's the only one we're gonna see. It's Crocodile. I don't know what this Crocodile did. I didn't get to watch this one. Second place, Garchomp. There he is, right there. The next regional dex that we see that has Garchomp in it is BDSP. Obviously, Gen 4 is the generation that Garchomp is from, so it's okay for it to be in BDSP. Let's look at the Victory Road like tournament ready teams for BDSP. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 Garchomps, and any team that doesn't have Garchomp has Gastrodon, which is also a very good ground type in its own right, but it doesn't really do the same thing that Garchomp does. It fills a different role. I just want to also, this is like straight up Sejun Park's Worlds team, right? Yeah, minus the Talonflame, because there's no Talonflame. That's really funny. I don't know, man. Garchomp is so annoying. I don't like Garchomp. And I hate that every time it's in a regional Pokedex, it's just the best ground type we have. It's just default. The best ground type that we have. Garchomp. This ugly dude, look at him. He is so ugly. I hate this Pokemon. Maybe hate's a strong word, I don't know. I really dislike Garchomp. And it's, like I said, it's literally like the Charizard of pseudo-legendary Pokemon. Besides Tyranitar, which also does get a lot of love, but Tyranitar is not as ubiquitous a Pokemon as Garchomp. If there is a format that Garchomp exists in, and it's like a regional format and we don't have Landorus yet, Garchomp's the best Pokemon. And Landorus is a whole other problem. And for me, this isn't just a Garchomp problem, right? This is a widespread Pokemon. This is a widespread Pokemon problem that we keep doing. Every generation we have a regional dex. We include a few like a lot of old Pokemon. Namely, one of the main offenders here is Charizard. Charizard is in every regional Pokedex. We have had one generation, I think, without Charizard, and I think that's Black and White. And I think Charizard was probably available in the post game. I don't know that for sure, but this is I'm calling it the Garchomp problem, but this is the Charizard problem. This is the right now. It's really recently for me, it's been the Amoonguss problem. I mean, thank God we don't have Incineroar in this generation, or it'd be the Incineroar problem. I don't know. Maybe I'm going crazy. Maybe I'm going too far. I don't know. This is just how I feel about this topic. It's like, I really hope it doesn't become the Dragon Ball problem, because I really don't like playing against Dragon Ball. It's really annoying. It just feels like we have like a few Pokemon that are in basically every regional Pokedex, and they're just good in every regional Pokedex. And to be fair, like I didn't play early Sword and Shield, so I didn't get to like play a format without Garchomp. I played like after like the DLC came out, basically is when I started playing, like around like Isle of Armor, Crown Tundra time, which is when Garchomp got introduced, but it also introduced Landorus. And I mean, Landorus, I don't know. This feels like it feels like probably a bigger issue to me than maybe it does to other people. But like, I think regional Dex formats are good. I think Dexit is a good thing for competitive Pokemon. Am I sad for everybody not having their favorite Pokemon in the game? Yes, of course. I didn't get to have Breloom in all of Sword and Shield, right? I didn't get to that's one of my favorite Pokemon. We didn't get to have Typhlosion. We didn't get to have we had Sceptile at the very tail end. It wasn't good. These are some of my favorite Pokemon. They basically weren't in Sword and Shield. And I get that. It's sad, right? But for competitive Pokemon, having limited Pokedexes is usually a good thing. It means that the newer Pokemon get to shine more. If we had Landorus Therian right now, let me tell you, we would not be running Paldean Tauros Water as our best Intimidate Pokemon. Goldengo would not be as ubiquitous as it is. We would match Tailwinds and knock it out with Landorus. That's just kind of what I'm getting at, right? Like, these regional formats are good because it lets the new Pokemon shine just a little bit more. If Pelipper wasn't the only Pokemon that could set rain right now, and it didn't match up so well into some of the new Pokemon that are only good because we have a regional Pokedex, Pelipper wouldn't be good right now. Like, I don't know. I'm sick of Garchomp being in every regional dex. I'm sick of Amoonguss. I don't know. It's not really in every regional dex, right? Like, obviously, if it was, it'd show up more in some of these. It's like a late add-on. But Amoonguss is always good when it's allowed. Having it in a regional dex feels like cheating. I almost wish that we didn't have Brute Bonnet, because then we wouldn't have Amoonguss. And like, it's kind of like a hard problem for me to explain to you, right? Because it's gonna sound like, oh, Crybaby doesn't like good Pokemon. No, good Pokemon are fine. But like, in the regional dex, the whole point is new Pokemon, right? What new ground type Pokemon do we have that we can use right now? I think the only new ground type Pokemon we got we got what? We got Clodsire. Clodsire's bad. At least it's not like an attacking Pokemon. You know what I mean? We got Great Tusk, Iron Treads. They're good. You can use them in Series 2. That's fine. What else did we get? We got Sandy Shocks. Sandy Shocks is fine. Toedscruel is fine. They're not Garchomp. They don't do the same thing. It's kind of like not a good comparison to compare them to Garchomp. But like, so I played early Sun and Moon. This is a story time. I played early Sun and Moon. I really, really wanted to use Mudsdale. And I kept running into the problem that every time I tried to use Mudsdale, it was worse than Garchomp. And I couldn't use Mudsdale. It didn't matter what ability I ran. I usually just ran Stamina or like Inner Focus. This was before Inner Focus and On-Tempo were immune to Intimidate, by the way. But it's just like, Mudsdale's like the last like really good new ground type Pokemon I remember like really wanted. Palossand, kind of the same thing, but not really. It's a special attacker. It just feels like anytime Garchomp's allowed, no other ground type is good. And anytime like Amoonguss is allowed. Any other like supporting grass type that's similar to Amoonguss is bad. Like BDSP, I want to say it's not on here, but Tangrowth. Tangrowth is a good Pokemon in BDSP because there's no Amoonguss. And you know damn well, if there was Amoonguss, then it would be Amoonguss and not Tangrowth. You know? Does that make sense? Do we understand? I don't. If people are mad that there aren't all the Pokemon in the game, like, I understand. I get it, right? We want to have all of our favorite Pokemon in the game. But these limited dex formats are good for competitive Pokemon. All the new Pokemon get to shine. Some of these new Pokemon would not be good if we had every Pokemon right now. And that's fine. I think that's fair. Just stop giving me Garchomp. Stop giving me Amoonguss. I don't want them in every regional dex. Like, Charizard's not in the regional dex, obviously, but it's in the game. Everybody already has one. It's going to be allowed soon, and it's probably going to be great on Sun teams because it has, like, a good speed tier compared to the rest of the Pokemon in the format. I don't know. I don't know. I just wanted to rant about that today. And if that doesn't jive with you, that's all right. We're just doing stuff, you know, sometimes. But anyway, guys, rant's over. I've got it off my chest. My chest is clear. We can say goodbye to Garchomp. If you liked the video, guys, leave me a big fat like. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you want to see in the next one. Go ahead and subscribe. We're growing like crazy. We're trying to grow like crazy a little bit more. Growth is always good. Check out the AndyLa merch store. Link down in the description. Be an AndyLa fan today. Be the #2 AndyLa fan, because you'll never be as big as a fan as Poliwhirl. And with that, everybody, my name's Andrew. I'll catch you guys next time.